They're normal people, not like you, not like me. Please, can't we be an average family? This is Wednesday, the first 4 episodes. What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. You either got that at the top or you didn't. It's okay. If you didn't, that's fine. It's fine. First 4 episodes of season 2. This does have audio description. It's International Digital Center, written by Liz Gutman and narrated by Frankie Corzo. And we're caught up until September. Guess what? The next half of the season is releasing also on a Wednesday. They're so clever. I think it's dropping the day before the paper on Peacock, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, so Wednesday's back, and the reviews are mixed. But what does that mean for me? Because I don't care. I always, I lean more on like other people when there is an audio description, and I'm like, what did you think? Because I'm trying to connect the dots. Well, there's excellent audio description on this because Liz Gutman is flawless and Frankie Corzo is excellent and matches the tone of this perfectly. So this is well-produced audio description. We're back. Jenna Ortega. She's got her crew minus Xavier. We're gonna have some mild spoilers in here. It is like a recap review. But Xavier's gone. Just like, they're like, I don't know, he went somewhere else. And he really did. He's not there. Like, first 4 episodes, no Xavier. Tyler's still hanging out because he's in like a mental institution, so he's in the season. They do bring Christina Ricci back, in case you're wondering. She does make an appearance in the first 4 episodes from last season. We got some new guest stars. First episode, you're going to want to note Haley Joel Osment, because I did not until afterward. And then I was like, wait a minute, he played who? Oh, in the first episode? IMDb has him credited for 7 episodes. That's a lie. That's a lie. First episode is Haley Joel Osment's sweet spot, although there was a flashback in one of the other episodes, so I think he's technically in 2 episodes. So, supposedly Lady Gaga's in this season. I think she might have appeared in the 4th episode. I did hear a name, and I was like, isn't that the name of the character Gaga's playing? But they didn't do anything with it. And I'm like, they didn't just put Lady Gaga here in a non-speaking role and, like, wheel her out so that people could be like, Gaga. She showed up on set and then just left. No, I don't think that happened for her. So, Thandiwe Newton is a new cast addition this season. Heather Matarazzo is in this. Steve Buscemi is the biggest because he's now the principal of Nevermore. He has replaced Gwendolyn Christie, so he's the biggest cast addition in terms of fresh new faces. Now the series is going in a different direction. I liked a lot of this, but there's some stuff that I was like, oh no, they're doing it too much. So what is the season about? Wednesday has a stalker. It's the same. She got the letter at the end of last season, or the note or text or whatever you want to call it. And they're just playing on that. So somebody's stalking her. So she thinks she's also writing a book, and that's a thing for her. So she's trying to protect her book. At one point, her book's in danger, and she thinks it's her stalker. Really, it ends up being this, like, a lot of it is misdirection in the beginning, because it's this amazing, my favorite new character, Agnes, this invisible girl, who, I forgot the name of the actress who plays it. She's brilliant. I loved her so much. It's like Evie Templeton. I think I'm right. Evie Templeton. Shout out to Evie Templeton, because like, you came into a cast where they were adding like Steve Buscemi and Thandiwe Newton, and I was like, who is this child? And I need to know who they are immediately. Her energy is perfect, and I hope they keep her around. I'm hoping she has nothing to do with the villain, so that way she can be in season 3. I don't care how anybody else feels about Agnes. I love Agnes. I am shipping Agnes as a character. She just has the way that she delivers her lines are just so like, I'm here to take the things off your plate that you weren't able to do. It's just, she's very calm. It's kind of creepy. And I'm totally digging it because so many of the other kids just act like regular teenagers. And then you have Wednesday and she has this shtick. And this girl is she's very much like a Wednesday like stan. And you can feel it just in like her presence, but it's not copying Wednesday. It's just that she sort of has the same sort of general morose outlook on life. And I love it. And she's so totally useful. Like to have an invisible girl, perfect. Perfect. So, because she can disappear, although Fester catches her like immediately. So yeah, all the Addams families are back. And for the first 4 episodes, they're all there except for Fester has to come back in. Fester doesn't come back in until like the 4th episode, but they find a reason. They give like a cabin on campus to the rest of the Addams to try to get them to donate. Steve Buscemi's trying to get them to donate because Xavier's parents were like the biggest donors, and now that he's going to a different school, they've lost a donor. So they need somebody to make up the money slack. So he is blackmailing Bianca, first of all, and making her use her siren power. So Bianca is not happy. She tries to siren her way out of it at one point, but that doesn't work. Principal Dolt is his name, and he seems to have a power that is related to fire. Like he's able to throw blasts of fire. I don't know what that is. He's a pyro something. I don't get it. I don't know what he is, what representation he is for monsters. But he has no problem creating fire. So they have a cabin on campus for the Addamses. And Pugsley now goes to Nevermore. So Pugsley is here full time. He's off with Eugene. He now is the roommate. Like Eugene has decided to take on Pugsley as a favor to Wednesday. So we're going to get back to Pugsley. And the Addamses in general. Let me get through this plot. So Wednesday has to figure out who the stalker is. The stalker is an avian, meaning they communicate with birds. They use birds to do their dirty work. There's a character death near the beginning of the season that is a character from last season that overlapped into this season that doesn't make it very far into this season. Who gets, their eyes pecked out by the birds, and Wednesday finds their body later on. So, and that's happened, I guess, to another body. So something is afoot, and Wednesday's going to have to try to figure it out. But she's also having problems with her psychic powers. Her psychic guide, Goody, is not quite connecting with her anymore. So, she has this book, but her mom takes it, and she tries to win it back, but her mom ends up winning. And when's last we saw the book, it was being tossed into a fire. So she even calls in Grandmama, who's played by Joanna Lumley, who plays Morticia's mother, who helps her out by... She basically reminds her grandmother, because her grandmother's like, well, what's in it for me? And she's like, you annoy the shit out of my mom when you're here. So that's the pain that you bring, is that. So she's more than happy to help Wednesday. She buys Wednesday a cemetery because Wednesday needed it for... I'm not really sure why, but she needed it for this. Anyway, it all leads to this mental hospital where Thandiwe Newton works, so she thinks Newton is the main villain. You'll find out, I won't spoil all of it for you, but you'll find out it's not. And it's a diversion tactic, and there's like this program where they were trying to steal the powers of the outcasts to give to normies. That's kind of the first 4 episodes in a nutshell, with as much of like a blanket, not spoiling. I really didn't spoil much for you. I just kind of told you how to get from point A to point B. And that is it. Man, it's to fully break down 4 episodes. So my favorite episode was 3, which takes them to camp. Loved that episode. It reminded me so much of Addams Family Values, and I was like, please, why have we, like, there were guest star opportunities here, and because they obviously keep alluding to things, and I wish they would allude to them more. Like, that's why Christina Ricci's here. So, would have been an excellent opportunity to bring in like David Krumholtz or Christine Baranski, who were both in Addams Family Values and were at camp. Yes, Joan Cusack coming in here would be also brilliant, but at the same time, she didn't go to the camp. Just like I think I'm still waiting on some Addams Family musical cameos from Nathan Lane, Bebe Neuwirth, Krista Rodriguez. Any of those actors would be nice to see come in here. So we don't get that either. That's not here. Instead, we get Anthony Michael Hall playing like a G.I. Joe-ish type who's got a whole bunch of like mini G.I. Joes, and they challenge the outcasts and they lose, which will end up costing Anthony Michael Hall's character his life, because Pugsley needed something to do other than just be completely a waste of time. Like, his inclusion in the series is my least favorite thing. He's so pointless and so stupid that I can't function when he's on screen. He makes, I don't know what purpose he serves. He feels so out of place here because, like, I don't get it. I don't get what they're trying to do with Pugsley this season, other than just be like, well, it makes sense for Pugsley to go to Nevermore. That would be the wrong instinct, would be to do it just because you feel like you have to. So they give him Slurp, which is a zombie, and so he has to like try to protect. He has like this zombie pet for a little while, and then Slurp ends up in the mental institution because he's eating too many people. Like, he eats their brains. And the cool thing about Slurp, though, is that his zombie power seems to be like the more he eats, the more he sort of regenerates. So it's possible by the end of the season we're going to find out who Slurp is, because he will have regenerated back into whoever he was before. So that's the interesting thing about that. I think I have an idea of what they're going to do with that, but again, spoilers. I don't want to handle that. I don't want to mess with that. So some of the other characters, Enid has over the summer fell out of love with Ajax and is now in love with this new Wolfpack kid, Bruce, something like that. So it begins with a B. It's not Barry. Something like that. Something Brucey. Bubba. Yeah, so she is enamored with him. She doesn't actually ever officially break up with Ajax, which makes everything kind of awkward later on in the season. Ajax is like, when did we break up? And Eugene spends most of his time this season babysitting Pugsley. I do call it babysitting because I think he's an idiot. Christopher Lloyd's back, or at least the voice of. I realized they didn't chop off Christopher Lloyd's head and put it inside of a container, and I'm sure that's a special effect, and he's just doing voiceover work. So, I liked it. What I did not like were the instinct to make this more of an Addams Family show, which is what they've done by making Pugsley essentially. I mean, even if the parents leave, Pugsley is still a Nevermore student now, so there's still another Addams, no matter what. It was cool when we had Wednesday and Thing, like that was fine. I know that they're doing a spinoff for Fester. I don't know why. I've never really loved Fred Armisen in this character, compared to previous iterations of Fester. Whatever, fine, I guess, do it. I'm not begging you to do it. He comes in here and he's sort of quirkily useful, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Liz Gutman and Catherine Zeta-Jones are in all 4 of the first episodes because they stay on campus. Actually, Catherine Zeta-Jones has a ton of scenes. It's sort of weird because Guzman has very little to do as Gomez because it's mostly this dichotomy between mom and daughter that is sort of driving through the first 4 episodes, which is then paralleled also by bringing in her, Morticia's mom. So I don't think the instinct is to keep them around. I don't think we didn't need them. I think Jenna Ortega was doing just fine on her own. Some people are like, well, if you like the quirky humor of the first show, I think the quirky humor is there. I don't know what you're talking about. I just think they're trying to mess with the formula. They're trying to mess with the formula they didn't need to mess with, which was the rest of the Addams Family comes in on an as-needed basis, not literally stays for 4 episodes. I would not have kept any of them around as long as they've been around in the show. So, yep, I would have left it to just Wednesday and Thing and told everybody else to peace out and use them as guest stars. And not... I mean, I love Catherine Zeta-Jones. I think she's doing a great job as Morticia, but the show doesn't need her. It's not about her. And every scene she's in is a scene that takes away from one of the kids. So, like, Enid really doesn't do anything in the first 4 episodes except boy stuff. She's worried about being, like, her relationship drama. And she also gets, like, kidnapped in one of the episodes, and Wednesday has to rescue her. That's, like, the extent of Enid, who is arguably, like, the Willow of the series. She even laments at one point that she has so little to do. There's a point where Wednesday has to break into the hospital, and she takes Agnes because she's useful, because she can be invisible, and she reluctantly takes Enid. She doesn't want to take Enid because she had a vision that Enid dies, so she's been trying to protect Enid. But that doesn't mean that the series doesn't require Enid to have a thing, a plot that is not just boy trouble. It's sort of really reductive. And it feels like Enid, and it feels like Ajax, and these characters are getting these, and even Eugene, whose like entire character thing seems to be babysitting Pugsley. Like these characters from season 1 all have virtually nothing to do because we have to give Morticia and Gomez screen time, which is great for people who like them and for Addams Family, but it's not really great for the series. That's not why people fell in love with season 1. Season 1 was Wednesday coming into this show, and they created this her own little Scooby gang in and around her. And she doesn't really rely on them that much in this season because she's recognized as being a hero. She kind of like doesn't want to be, so she ostracizes herself. It is a very different dynamic. And I kind of wonder if we weren't giving so much screen time to the Addamses, would we not have more for the supporting cast to do? So I'm not putting out this is just like an update. I actually will watch all 8 episodes before I do my Rotten Tomatoes review. I don't care, whatever. Nobody's clamoring for it on Rotten Tomatoes. They're not like, oh God, I see that it has a score, but why doesn't it have... If Netflix sends the other 4 episodes to me with audio description, I'll watch them and then review the whole thing. But I want to do the whole season because it's just, we're left at such an interesting point at season 4 that I'm like, okay, so you got me for the back 4. I want to see where we go with this. Yeah. So right now, I would say it's headed for a fresh and I don't know, like a 7.8 maybe, but I feel like it could curve up. It also could curve down, but I mean, I feel like it kind of ended on an interesting note, and I feel like we started to turn around, but then if they just start giving more and more screen time to Gomez and Morticia, I'm gonna be like, ooh, stop. This is not an Addams Family show. It's a Wednesday show. the whole shtick of it was taking Wednesday Addams and putting her in a school with other kids. So where are the other kids? Give them stuff to do. We have to increase the point of them being here for the second season. Anyway, excellent audio description though. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.